The moment a new experience hits your senses, whether through your ears or eyes, your body immediately asks a primal question. Is this safe or is it dangerous? This split-second judgment triggers a physical reaction before your conscious mind even catches up. It's a built-in survival mechanism designed to protect you, but sometimes this system misfires, leading to a spiral of anxiety and trauma that feels impossible to escape. Anxiety isn't just a fleeting feeling. It's often seen as a monster to be banished, a disease that clings to you, whispering lies that you're broken or helpless. But what if the key to overcoming this doesn't lie in fighting anxiety head-on, but in understanding how your brain and body respond to it, and how you can reframe that response? Trauma, often misunderstood, doesn't simply end with the event itself. It's the way your brain rewires itself after something overwhelming happens. The trauma embeds itself not just in your memory, but deep within your nervous system, shaping your reactions and your internal dialogue. That persistent voice inside your head, the one replaying fears and doubts, isn't the true you. It's a learned narrative that you have the power to rewrite. What if trauma isn't the unchangeable truth, but a story waiting to be reframed? What if anxiety, instead of being a barrier, could become a source of insight or even strength? Behind the scenes, your brain is a battleground between two key players, the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex. The amygdala is your ancient alarm system, instantly lighting up when it perceives danger, like the eerie bump in the night. In response, your body floods with adrenaline and stress hormones, preparing to fight or flee. At the same time, your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for thoughtful decision-making and calm reflection, often gets overwhelmed and shuts down under intense stress. This imbalance fuels the relentless cycle of anxiety. Yet, neuroscience offers hope through something called cognitive flexibility, the ability to shift your perspective and approach challenges with different mindsets. It means you don't have to be stuck with your anxious thoughts or trauma responses. You can learn new ways to react. One of the most powerful tools to reframe anxiety is transforming the dreaded what-if list. Those endless, paralyzing what-ifs feed anxiety's fire. What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? But this same list holds a hidden potential. Anxiety evolved to push us into action. 2.5 million years ago, when our ancestors faced life or death threats, anxiety was a survival tool, fight or flight. Today, that instinct lingers, but instead of running from it, we can redirect it. Turn your what-ifs into a practical to-do list. Each what-if becomes a task, a step forward, a small victory. Checking off those tasks transforms anxiety from a weight into a source of productivity and control. It's not about eliminating anxiety, but harnessing it. Trauma isn't limited to soldiers on battlefields. It touches all of us in different ways. What breaks one person might not faze another, because trauma is deeply personal, shaped by our individual histories and personalities. Trauma lodges itself in the primitive parts of the brain, those designed to detect danger and keep us safe. When trauma hijacks this system, it sends constant signals of threat, long after the original event has passed. Your body stays in a state of alert, your mind locked in confusion, fear, or rage, unable to fully process or move beyond what happened. This ongoing state can affect not just your mental health, but your physical well-being too, causing immune and hormonal imbalances. The path to healing trauma and anxiety begins with something deceptively simple: the breath. Conscious breathing acts like a reset button for your nervous system. By focusing on the air flowing in and out of your nose and mouth, you can interrupt the spiraling internal dialogue, the DJ in your head that plays negative, self-defeating narratives on repeat. This shift doesn't happen overnight, But with practice, the calming power of mindful breathing can transform your physiological state. As your body relaxes, your thoughts soften. The nurturing internal voice that replaces the critical one rewires your brain's response, changing how you relate to yourself and others. This is the foundation for a new story, one where anxiety and trauma no longer dictate your life. Support plays a monumental role in buffering trauma's impact. Consider a child bitten by a dog. The bite itself is painful, but the trauma can be softened or even prevented if a trusted caregiver is there to offer comfort, reassurance, and safety. This presence reassures the brain's primitive survival center that the world is not entirely unsafe. Safety is the cornerstone of healing. When people feel protected and supported, their brains can begin to process traumatic experiences more effectively. This principle holds true at every stage of life. Even adults facing anxiety or trauma benefit enormously from connection and kindness. The most profound change comes when we begin to recognize the anxiety and pain in others. That familiar tension in their shoulders, the fleeting look of worry in their eyes. It's a shared human experience. Your superpower isn't just in managing your own anxiety, but in offering empathy, a kind word, or a simple act of support to someone else in distress. This small gesture can ripple outward, shifting the energy of an entire environment. Compassion becomes contagious. It interrupts the cycle of fear and isolation, replacing it with connection and healing. By rewiring your internal dialogue, understanding the biology of your brain, turning anxiety into action, and embracing connection and breath, you hold the power to transform trauma and anxiety from relentless enemies into guides toward resilience and growth. The journey is deeply personal, but you are never alone. And every step you take forward changes not only your own life, but the world around you.